Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to give you some amazing and easy basketball crossover moves and just basketball dribbling moves in general for kids. So this would be for like the grade 6 or 7 level and under, kind of like the beginner level of basketball. So the first move I'm going to show you is not a crossover move, it is just a dribbling move that you can do. So basically this is the spin move. The idea behind the spin move is to be able to spin around your defender and create space for yourself so that you can possibly drive towards the rim or take a step back or some other kind of move to get your jump shot off and create more space between you and the defender. And to do the spin move is very simple. You can be dribbling up to your defender. I'm going to go get a pylon. He can be my defender. So that is my orange defender. And basically we want to try and get around that player. And how we're going to do that is to spin move around him. And to do the spin move, you have to watch out for another defender kind of helping out over. So if there's another defender over here who looks like he could jump on you after you do the spin move, you can use that to your advantage later on when you get a little bit more advanced at this move, but right away you might not want to do this if there's another defender over there. So what we're going to be looking at doing is dribbling up towards our defender, and there's two ways of doing the spin move. There's the first way where a lot of players can get called for a carry, so I personally don't teach that one first, but I'm going to show it to you first, and that is the one hand bringing it over. Now, if you're a player who likes to carry the ball, you might end up doing something like this. And when you're coming up to your defender, you might carry the ball over and then drop it. That's not what you want to do with this first type of spin move. What you want to do is keep your hand on top of the ball, push it around, so it's sort of like that. So I'll do a sideways view of me doing this so you can see what I'm doing. And basically, you're dribbling up to the cone, you're keeping your hand on top of the ball, and you're bringing it around with you. Now that's the first way. A lot of players do end up carrying it, so I actually don't teach that way first. What I do teach is the crossover while you're spinning. So how you're going to do that is you're going to be dribbling up towards the pylon, you're going to leave that ball, and then you're going to dribble it around with your left hand. Now this is not as fast of a spin move as you would normally do. Like the other way is faster. But if the ref is calling you on carries, or if you're just carrying the ball in general, this is another alternative way of going. So basically you're going to dribble up, you're going to then cross over to your left hand. You can also do this the other way as well. So you can be dribbling up with your left hand, you can then leave it, bring it around, and then you're able to cross over the ball, spin move, and not be called for a carry. Now let's do a sideways view of me where you can see what I'm doing. So basically on the side, you're going to be dribbling up, you're going to be then carrying it around with you, and now the back view, you looking at me from going this way, it's going to look like this. So very simple move, way that you can get around your defender very easily and be able to score. Now the next move I'm going to show you is the killer crossover. The killer crossover was first really well known and used by Iverson. It's also called the Iverson cross because Allen Iverson always used it. But there's many other basketball players who use this, not just Iverson. So we call this the killer crossover. So you're going to be dribbling up with one of the other hands, right or left. I usually like to start this with my left hand myself. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dribble up with my left hand. I'm going to cross over the ball, make it look like I'm going to go in that direction. Then I'm going to cross it back and continue with my left hand towards the basket. So you're going to be dribbling up. You're going to go bang, take a big step, and then you're going to go without carrying the ball like I just did. So it's going to look like this from face on. So you're going to be dribbling up. You're going to go bang, bang, and back. And the wider you can get that ball, the better. Now you can still do the killer crossover when you get a little bit older because obviously it works at the NBA level. However, you can start adding on different ways of doing it. So I personally really like going through my legs and doing the killer crossover. So you can dribble up to the pylon, you can go bang, back, and then you can continue with your left hand. You can do this starting with your right hand as well. But again, I personally, even though I'm a right-handed player, I like driving left allows me to body and go up with my left hand. And a lot of players will think you're right-handed, so I'll force you to go with your left hand. It actually works for my advantage. So basically you go up, you go bang, and that's how I personally do the move, through the legs twice. Give a little bit of a stutter step too. It helps. So these are some moves that you can do being a little bit younger, being maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old. These are great starting crossover moves, basketball dribbling drills, and moves that you can use yourself in your next basketball game. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video. Now, one more basketball move that I like to teach younger basketball players is just a normal crossover, but it's a change of direction. So we've all seen and probably used and done the zigzag basketball dribbling drill. If you haven't, I've got millions of videos on this channel about that. But basically, pretend that you're dribbling up to the defender, or your defender is following with you, next to you, and you're going in this direction. What you want to do is just do a simple crossover, change directions, and there's a way of doing this to really explode past your defender. And how you're going to do that is by, when you're dribbling up to the spot where you're going to cross over, what you're going to be doing is hopping in to your crossover like that, so you can explode. And the lower you get, when you're jumping into it, the lower you get. If your shoulders are lower than your defender's shoulders, you're going to be a lot faster off of that first step than your defender is to turn around and continue to guard you. And this is going to allow you to score a ton of points in basketball. And then when you get a little bit older, you can change that as well. Now, when you get a little bit older, instead of just going right up to the cone, dribbling, and doing a regular crossover, hopping into it to beat your defender, you can add a couple of more things to it. So you can dribble up, you can do a regular crossover, and then you can kind of do a step back and take your shot. Or what you can do as well is now you can go through the legs, which will help you defend the crossover, because now if your defender is going to try and reach in and cut that crossover off, you now have a leg in the way. So when you're dribbling up to the cone, you're going to go through the legs and explode right to the rim. Anyways, I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball player. If it does, let us know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video.